Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the RGL cast. My name is Jarrett here with Space Toast to bring you guys RGL Invite 6's Season 6, Week 7B. This is a little bit of a delayed match, but being played nonetheless of GlobalClan Ice versus the Jug Dealers. And this is going to be a pretty important one. Out of, all the matches left in the later half of the season, there's not too many to really, have big implications when it comes to the playoff race. But of all the ones remaining, this is by far the most important. GlobalClan Ice have almost clinched the spot, but not quite yet. There are some technicalities to deal with, and the Jug Dealers are hot on their tails trying to solidify the spot for themselves and take it away from the prospective 4th seed team. How you doing, Space Ghost? What do you think about the matchup between these two teams?
I'm feeling pretty good, and yeah, the mustard team, jug dealers, they're just barely clinging on to their playoff hopes. They gotta I gotta hope they have a good showing here, and they gotta get that dub no matter what. But even then, they're kind of, I don't know if I consider them a move up team, but they're definitely a pretty new team. A lot of players who have not necessarily played Invite before. They have some experience, Paul Dog, Mustard, and Phantom, but
it's like half and half.
Yeah. But still, I think even if they lose tonight, I think they'll be pretty happy with their season overall. But it's the 4th versus the 5th place team, so you definitely know that they wanna give themselves every chance to potentially lock up that playoff seed.
Yep, that's very true. It's gonna be a little bit rough for them. I think there's certain matches that have to go. I think not everything is in their control, pretty much. I think it's more about GlobalClan Ice losing a lot of their matches than the Jug Dealers winning a lot of theirs for their for their success to reach 4th place. However, this is the one match that is very much in their control. So really excited to see what's going to happen tonight on Process. It's going to be the map for you guys who are already getting your predictions out on what you think is going to happen. But for those who are holding back, it makes sense. It's probably important for us to go over the rosters for both these teams so you can know who's in the server tonight and if there's any ringers and stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and go over the GCI roster. It is Caps and Catface on Scout, Sin and Rakuso on Soldier, Sin Karma on Demo, and May on Medic.
And for the Jug Dealers, we have Zam and Gungan on Scout, Haze and Paul Dog on Soldier, Mustard Overlord on Demo, and Phantom on Medic. And I would like to point out, I think the map choice is kind of interesting, because I think, I don't know if I necessarily call them the carry, but I think GlobalClan Ice, their soldiers are definitely, kind of I think Rakuso and Sin are pretty standout players. I think they're all very talented, but, Sin Karma especially, but I'm curious to see how they do on this map. They had some success on it previously this season. But without Process is a notoriously scout-dominated map, so I think Rakuso might have a harder time making plays than normal, because yesterday Rakuso was making tons of plays.
True, but it's important because it's such a stressful soldier map that you have really talented soldiers that are able to make the most out of a bad situation when it comes to the map geometry and stuff. I know Rakuso in the past have said Process isn't exactly his favorite, but I'm sure he'll be able to manage. Meanwhile, on the other side, on the Jug Dealers, speaking of soldiers, Hayes has been a pretty heavy hitter for the Jug Dealers as well. He's put out a large amount of damage and stellar performances in their previous matches, and I want to say both these teams, when it comes to Process in particular, they've been pretty good. I don't think there's been anything like super shaky. I think GCI even had that one upset win like super early on in the season in their favor. So it's really I'm not too surprised to see such a classic map being played. I think the last match between these two teams was like a 5-2 or a 5-3 in favor of GCI and Snake. I think it was 5-2 now that I think about it more. But going from Snake to Process, they're not the same map, but it's they're similar in that they're maps that have been around forever. People have pugged on them for a long time. All the nooks and crannies have been figured out, and the strategies are pretty well recognizable between the teams. So it really comes down to less about ideas and more about execution as we are going live right off the bat. So last minute prediction of what you think is going to happen?
I think GCI are the favorites. I think I'm going to say a 5-2, 5-3 for GCI. I think hopefully should be able to pull it out. The matchup I'm looking for in this match is the Mustard Overlord versus Sin Karma matchup. That should be a good one. So but here we go into our first mid. Looks like Mustard and Sin just gonna trade damage real quick. Rakusa gonna actually damage Mustard down a pretty reasonable amount. But so far it seems like they're just content to sit in the high ground kind of spam.
Yeah, Red Team has a little bit more high ground control, but GCI are still trying to combat it at least a little bit. throwing some upward rockets at these scouts, but red team taking some position, bombing and actually landing on Rakusa, popping up in the air really low, and it's Sin, Karma, and Sin, the Sin pair that's gonna fall. So many players dropping left and right, and mostly on the side of GCI, and those 3 deaths are immediately spelling them to back up. Rakusa gonna need an arrow, so continue to fight, but will actually back up, as the player decide is still not in their favor. So well execution from the side of the Jug Dealers, taking the positional advantage and steamrolling it into a mid and a 2 that's pretty much for free.
Yeah, that fight in 2 went very well for them. You know, even though they didn't get any kills, they got the position which they needed. They kind of forgot, not forgot,
Oh,
but
Sin caught.
yeah, they like delayed their second cap a little. Very strange, but I think I guess that was a sack. They went for a sack. Okay, so GCI gonna try to push off of their kind of pick advantage, 5v4, and they're gonna be able to pretty much get him for free. Mustard's actually gonna drop them really low, and Sin gets the market card on the Phantom. Big place from Sin, and it's a disaster for the Jug Dealers. They're not gonna get. They only have Rakusa, and that's their only kill. They finally get Sin off the back end, but not really worth it in the long run. That was
I'll
so good.
expend 2 soldiers for a team wipe pretty much. I'll take that any day of the week, and it makes sense. If you get market guard and your medic drops, your position is probably not exactly where it needs to be. If Hayes, he's behind a little bit of a duel with Rakusa, but will exist at least for now. They know of his presence. He will actually go super far behind. He's way back there, so not going to do anything very soon. But Cap's going to fall. Paul Dog going to live at least for now. Going to arrow it up, launch himself away off of enemy team.
The Sin bomb. Sin is
he's just bombing in. They're just, yeah, they're Ubering, they're in, they're able to get gun again, but I think that's going to be about it. Everyone's a little bit too far away. Even Zam is all the way out in rollout. So expend an Uber for
Hayes
1 kill, but
Hayes is still behind too. I think Jug does want to refight this and play off of Hayes being behind. He's actually gonna kind of get the drop on Rakusa, and Rakusa's gonna drop very low. Hayes is probably gonna trade for it. He actually manages to drop Catface pretty low, and that's gonna be the end of it, kind of. You know, they went for a play and they lost 2, but they have Uber ads, so I don't know if GCI feels comfortable pushing off of this. So it's probably just gonna not stalemate. They're gonna be pushing soon, hopefully, with their ad.
yeah, it's a little small, but it is usable. It's probably going to be a demo bomb because the margins are so thin. But if GCI is able to back up, they'll be able to come back in depending on how things go. Mustard bombing in, as we've seen so many times before on Process, trying to get as much damage as possible to collect a kill. Sin Karma might be a kill inside Sewer. He is a little bit alone with the recollapse from the side of GCI.
Mustard's
Immediately
caught
on
out.
Mustard, killing him. The Uber will come into play and not quite used, but they're barreling forward, ready to use it at a moment's notice if needed. Only losing Catface, and they don't need a cap, so whatever. Scout down, rolling through 1, trying to get onto the scout player of Gungan. Uber is popped, trying to chase him down, is able to collect that kill. Hayes a little bit behind to be able to jump onto the point for a counter initiation, trying to get damage.
Cap's
Able
gonna
to
die
collect
instantly though.
Yep, gonna give up his life over. The heavy is out of the field now. Not buff, but it's gonna eat arrows with Phantom dying from Rakusa, trying to get the stick onto Mustard. A little bit of damage, but not quite enough to collect that kill, but I think he's gonna be A-okay, making sure that Phantom kill is collected at the tail end of the fight. Also, we have Catface Spy.
Catface spot, but that was an amazing kind of salvage from Rakusa. That was looking pretty bad for GCI. Rakusa managed to kind of sneak behind, get in the backline, and get a kind of secure second for his team. Because otherwise, I think that might have been a Jug Dealer's push out if their med lived there. That was looking pretty good for them at first.
So blue team has ad, but they also have a spy. It's a really precarious situation. You gotta.
It's the optimal scenario. It's the security blanket spy. You know, even if you lose the last fight, you still have the spy if he lives. It's
I feel like there's no way he baits though. I feel like he definitely just decloaks as the team Ubers in to like catch people rotating.
I'll have to see. Here comes the Uber. Catface.
Oh, he's doing it. He's going for the stab. He settles for a scout. That's fine. It's enough damage and space to create it.
He lived too.
Bombing in the nest, getting so much damage, able to collect Mustard over. There's no stickies on the point after that Mustard death, and the execution from GCI is able to net them their first round of the game.
I don't think anyone died in the last fight. That was a clean last fight, but the spy ended up working out. You know, gets the scout pick. That's all they needed. And we're going to our second mid with GCI up around.
Yep. Last time we saw the Jug Dealers take some early positioning on the roof and execute a pretty aggressive bomb into the side of GCI, but GCI in a position to adapt to what the Jug Dealers is dishing out in terms of the mid strategy spam, going across the points, trying to collect as much as possible to soften up the enemy and try to get something good going for your own team. Soldier initiation actually from Sin, getting some nice damage on it. Hey, it's going to be Sin that is cleaning that up. The Sin and Sin combo, getting a 1-player ad for the side of the blue team. And I think, Phantom and friends, they're very, very weak. Backing up, know that they can't fight this too well. Immediately, Sin bombing in off the damage, a little bit more onto Mustard as the rest of the team rolls through the choke, leaving 1 to Cap and continuing the train rolling. Rakusa bombing in, gonna get body block, not able to hit his target onto Phantom, dropped to 30 HP, but Phantom, not
Phantom
quite
backed
fight.
up. They don't have any heals. I don't know if GCI quite realized that. Yeah.
I don't think they recognized the opportunity. They probably didn't know that Phantom went all the way to reset.
Still, One opportunity lost, but not that big. And at the end of the day, I think they're going to be happy. You know, you have mid, you have Uber. What more can you really ask for on mid, you know? That's still a successful mid. Scout's getting a little aggressive and choke. Here comes Sin off of the Scout aggression. Going to drop Mustard a little low, but Mustard gets the bow and gets the kill, actually. So now it's on the... excuse me. Now it's on the Junk Dealers to do something, and they're kind of trying to take some choke aggression, but in the end, they're not really doing much right now. He's actually coming through sewer. Gonna try to... Looks like they're just spamming right now.
Yeah, they're really weak from the Sin Bomb. I think a couple people were inside each other's models, so it took them a bit to actually heal up and like be in a spot where they're comfortable with. And that took so much time that it was a little bit too late to do a counter. So I guess it makes sense. So Rakuso gonna take his turn, mess up his jump though. Actually, was that on purpose?
He got he got like air sticky, so his jump was just over before it started. It happens. It's not. I wouldn't even say it's his fault. But speaking of which, they're gonna take some IT pressure. You know, they're actually gonna catch out Hayes. Heads up play from GCI. They're catching up the overextended. I think Hayes' pocket or roamer.
He's roaming. I think he was on the move early because he saw the Rakuso sack, but then the Rakuso sack failed. And he just ended up being too deep and couldn't escape in time. So that's
comes
a
the
pick for the
sewer
blue team
pressure.
to use.
GCI electing to just kind of run laps around the back, and big bomb in from Rakuso can actually land on Mustard and get the trade. That's a very good trade for GCI. They're just gonna take the no demo to stop them. They're gonna lose Sin on the back end though, and Paul Dog's in. Both soldiers kind of in position on the high ground here, ready to collapse. That looks like what's gonna happen.
Yep, melee counter Uber from blue, running straight into Phantom, ignoring everyone else. They want to kill Phantom, even going to the enemy team's last through one to be able to get that. But the counter initiation coming from Paul Dog, a little bit damage, not quite enough to collect May. 3v3 at least for now. So many weak players on the red team though. May collecting arrows like he normally does. Is he gonna get more? He's just out here. His team is rolling out from being dead. He's escaping through RGLgg and on the chase in, trying to catch up. And another arrow, May. How do you do this? 2 kills collected in that fight. It is just Hayes and Mustard left alive. Mustard being a respawner from earlier on. Hayes being a little bit of a salvage from the fight, a little bit weak, but Sin trying to put some damage. Soldiers bombing through to create space. They have superior respawners. Too. Yeah, soldier trade. A lot of damage. Blue team's still trying to fight this. They have worse respawners, so they're still in.
He damages May. He makes a little space, but in the end, May still has pretty decent 30% Uber ad. They still do have to cap second though. The G-side never cap second, so I guess they're doing it now. Mustard team wisely elects to back up here and just hold last with their Uber disad. Hopefully get that up before May
immediately
gets in. Yeah, they're just in. Oh my lord.
Yeah, immediately going across the point with the Uber. May drop very low, but will be able to save himself with the Uber chasing down Phantom and Zam. So 2 dead right off the bat. And no, well, I think there were some stickies, but not quite enough on the point. So GCI able to collect their second round after that was a pretty impressive second fight. They fought against the enemy team's better respawns, still came up on top, still maintained their Uber ad to work that all the way into, we're reaching the half point time here.
Yeah, May had I'd say that was so far one of the best plays in the match, just living there, getting 2 bow kills and just able to staying alive there was so huge for his team. But right in the second minute, Sin Karma takes some really early damage in a fight versus Mustard, but G-Side's just gonna get healthy. They're sitting on the high ground. The Red Soldiers want to get in, and they are in, but they get Sin and they get caps. Are they gonna get more?
Chronic collects other Sin, able to be successful in that endeavor. Just May and Catface left alive, and Mustard is behind the enemy team's sewer for some reason, but it does not matter. It is a full wipe for the side of GCI this mid, only losing Hay as the initiator for the side of the Jug Dealers and Mustard. He's on the move. I think he wants to spawn
he
camp.
Wants more, but wait, he's
wait, what? Oh, Sin barely living at 29 HP, gonna get chased down by Gungan though. A little too greedy. The Uber immediately coming out, getting some early space, preventing any form of gun being placed, and they're just locked in spawn. The soldiers are able to get there just slightly in time, but it's not quite enough. And wow, that is some pretty good punishment from the side of the Jug Dealers. Able to collect Sin, you know, a little bit surprised they're rolling out to 2 very early on and quickly, and able to collect their first round on the board to lead us into a 2-1 game.
Yeah, the timing on that Mustard Sin kind of fight was so derpy, but it ended up working out kind of in their favor, and the Uber saved Mustard, and they were just basically able to get in for free. It was very nice, but Rakuso can actually take the high bomb and he tried to take the opponent attack, wasn't quite able to get it, so he's gonna wait for a bow, but yeah, right in the mid, just a little spam happening, not too much right now. Jug is actually a really high bomb from Rakuso, landing on Hayes. I don't think he expected it. He actually kind of got double bombed on Pocket, or Roamer, but yeah, the kills are coming up GCI right now.
Yep, they're able to initiate on the initiator, and with that, the Jug Dealers are in shambles. Phantom dying there, May still alive on top of the crate. Gonna be hard for Gungan and Mustard to be able to reach that endeavor. He's able to get 1 in Catface, but that's about it.
Yeah, he got his man, you know, that was his man. He got his man. Good job, Mustard. Cafe's unhappy in chat. You just hate to see it, but GSAT gonna be happy. They got their Uber and they have second, so they're gonna have full Uber and a late demo spawn. So you know you don't have to worry about super aggressive traps. There's probably just gonna be stickies on point. So GSAT just gonna wait for their spawners. Actually, oh, the Cafe's heavy.
Oh, here we go.
You'll love to see it. Yeah, he's on the the brass knuckles, whatever they're called, the funny fists.
He should notice.
Yeah. Do you have a GSAT? Do you have a level 3? They don't have a sniper or anything, but the level 3 sentry, excuse me, drug dealers. Actually, they get the dispensable run. They really want to spam this gun.
Yeah, a little spam coming out. The gun will finally fall. Uber not even out yet. This heavy is even peeking. They recognize there's no sniper this entire time, so the heavy's not even afraid.
Heavy.
They're coming in, not actually going for the point, trying to go for kills instead. Slaughter bombs coming in for the red team, landing on top of the heavy. A little bit of damage on him, but will get aired up to continue to live at least a little bit longer. The enemy heavy from Zam coming in as well, which is a heavy battle, but Zam will live. Catface will die. 3v3 at least for now. Phantom did die in the whole debacle too, but left alive after a couple kills. Cap will run in with 1 HP and will immediately melt. Sin trying to bomb in, able to collect Mustard and May. He's gotten a couple air kills so far this time match, but I don't think he wants to go and fight a 1v1 versus a scout. He will go ahead and back up and take his 35% ad to use again to eventually push last.
May, he went for the smarter play, and I can't blame him. You know, taking that scout would have been what some call a throw. You know, maybe he could have won it, who knows, but I think May chose the wise choice. Keep your Uber ad. You know, you're already up 2 rounds. Why or 1 round? No, why bother throwing? So.
He's checking for heavy. He's checking for enemy heavy.
They know, and the Cap's gonna die instantly. I guess they're probably still gonna push, but that makes it a lot tougher if your scout just vaporizes before the push. They're gonna bomb us in here. Sin actually in the skybox, gonna airshot Haze. Big bombing.
Oh my Sin! He got Haze and Mustard. There's no stickies on the point. The gun wasn't even built up yet. So that's half. There was no gun for that bomb. Like, they had an NG, but it was still building. So Sin didn't even need to shoot a gun. He just went 4 players. He immediately caught, you know, the jugular surprise. So definitely shows the importance of a gun and finding a whole lot of success here for GCI in this first half, going up 3-1.
Yeah, that was a pretty dominant showing overall from GCI. They had like their one little hiccup, lost a round, but you know, I think GCI I think they had a pretty good showing that half. I haven't looked at the stats yet, but they seemed pretty dominant overall, even when they like...
Again, they're ready. Wow, we don't even get to look at stats. They're ready. Yeah. Okay, no.
Who needs stats anyway? Stats are for dudes. We're going to our fourth mid here.
No, they baited.
Oh, did they bait? Oh, unlucky.
I'm pretty sure they did. Didn't they? I thought they unready. Oh no, we're going.
Okay, yeah, we're going. Okay.
I thought it sounded like someone unready, but no, we're going. All right, yeah, we're going into the next mid. Spam, as always, going across the point. A lot of damage on Sin. Mustard able to take the pack, but Sin will get aired up, so he'll be a-okay. But immediately going across the left side, trying to barrel into the enemy team sewer towards the blue team. A lot of players falling, including Phantom for the red team, so no heals for the side of the Joke Dealers. May still left alive with his team inside his own choke. Player disadvantage, they have to back up a little bit, make sure they have all their bases covered. They could poke around maybe a little bit. Mustard is 7 HP. I don't know if they know this, but you know, Sin's kind of poke around a little bit. He knows that he's buffed. He knows he has heals and the other team doesn't, so as long as they can bait the red team into a bad spot, just trade health, it's favorable for him. So, you know, trying to poke around. They know where a lot of players on red team are. Yeah, trying to work their way in, get some spam off, and red team still have no heals. Phantom still
nice
rolling
out. Big force in from Haze. He managed to get, I think he actually would have dropped if May didn't use through, so that's a big play from Haze. Now Phantom has a 20% ad, not even really pushable, but they'll be happy because they're in a much worse position.
Oh, the dry fight. Yeah,
Rakusa's coming in from IT as well. I don't know if they're looking at Rakusa. Rakusa is pretty much a free flank here.
Oh my!
He gets the Phantom kill, Rakusa, but is it worth it in the end? GSAT gonna drop 3 players. It's just a 3v3. It's so chaotic.
Yeah, both soldiers immediately just going for the medics and able to collect them, so it just leaves demos and scouts left on the field, scattered all across the map. Gungan is going to find himself in a 3v1 scenario very soon, leaving Mustard Overlord the only person left alive at the end of the fight. So probably not too much you can really do here. I mean, I guess a lot of them are pretty weak, but Mustard is as well. So blue team still has some presence here. Once again, though, player disadvantage when it comes to the respawning side for blue team. So not able to stay in too long. They know the red team's going to be there, but it looks like they still want to fight despite this. They're already in through the choke, wanted to fight back too.
I like these dry fights. It's definitely trying to show their dominance here. Joker is actually going to drop pretty low. They're trying to get through one. Their medic can't get through the one door. They do get the point here, but Catface actually does fall. May needs a pipe, and I think that might signal the retreat here. You know, the damage is just too strong for Mustard. And I want to see if Jug Duos actually take this number ad and they want to just barrel through Choke here.
Probably waiting on Hayes to get healed up a little bit and trying to bomb through. Mustard is actually going to die to Sin, so no demo for the side of the red team. Yep, Sin able to be collected, so no demos on either side. 4v4 now fighting in blue team's territory. Cap going to fall, bomb from Hayes, getting some space, and actually Catface is just in, able to collect Zam, and he's causing a little bit of chaos. His team is unable to go off the distraction, though. They're pretty far back. I don't think they recognize that he was going to be able to go for this play, so he's still trying to live for as long as possible, but will eventually get cleaned up by PaulDog.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to distract, maybe get some forwards in while he bought some time. In the end, I guess he accomplished his goal, but GCI, they're kind of just spamming here. Ooh, big bump from Hayes. Sin Karma just kind of vaporized. May vaporized.
What?
The spam is insane. They're all just standing in the doorway. The soldiers just saw blood. Kind of, Caps tries to go for a salvage. Now Sin's in for the salvage. He actually manages to get the force, but in the end, is it going to be worth anything? They're just walking into last.
Yep, immediately going through 3 and 4, launching Crusoe into the air, trying to collect as many kills as possible, but it's just Catface at 7 HP, and that will be a Jug Dealer's round, putting the score 3-2.
That round started off pretty favorable for GCI. I don't know if they dropped at the end there. He I think he vaporized it, so he got like just sync 2 rocketed by 2 different soldiers. Kind of unlucky, kind of maybe a little too greedy, but in the end, we're gonna go to a different mid. So nice 3-2 with GCI leading by 1.
I'm gonna be curious to see how the mids kind of change and adapt. We've seen a lot of different mid styles so far in this match, so both teams showing their willingness to be able to change things up to make things go in their favor. Rakusa once again bombing. Are they gonna land on Hay? They are. GCI going for the land on the soldier strat, and it's doing pretty good, except for Sin has fallen. Oh, Mustard's not catching the cue that his team is backing up, and now inside the Jug Dealers losing so many players. It started off pretty good, but GCI able to capitalize on the weakness of the Jug Dealers, not able to be on the same page quite as they need to. Got a bomb on a Sin from PaulDog, will not net into the kill. Hayes trying to back up, and that is gonna be all she wrote for this mid fight. It was a little back and forth in terms of who was kind of in the lead there, but at the end of the day, GCI come up on top.
Yeah, the damage was so strong that the Jug Dealers kind of had to back up at the choke, and from there is over. They couldn't just get back in because the spam classes were just too powerful to lock them out of. Now, they did have smaller Brad, but they wisely didn't go off of Rakusa tries to... Oh, he gets a shot by Zam. Big play coming in from Zam. Rakusa even drops a NS. Nice shot in chat. So now it's on Jug Dealers to try to sack, make something work here, but no, big plays end from this off classes really because the engineer knocked him up.
That was Zam playing with danger. Dropped to 6 HP going from upper lobby to 2, almost dying there. I guess he was just testing the waters a little bit, but they have an NG and a sniper and a spy. I think
he's checking off. He's checking. Very wise play. I feel like NA players don't do it as much as Europeans. I don't know why, but it's just a thing. Zam gonna get another pick on sniper, and Sin's gonna trade. That's a fan advantage, and Caps is okay. He managed to trade, but GCI just kind of I don't.
What are all these kills? The 6 people dying in succession.
Well, team's just 3-man. I think at the end that was a trap, which is just kind of unfortunate. But GCI's just gonna go in 3v3 with worse spot. Okay, Rakusa sacking. This is just chaos.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it makes sense if one person dies, just send another person to the grind. That's one less door being watched, but it just happened so quickly.
Hayes is on spy.
Is he actually? Oh, he's actually committing out. Yeah, he's going for the play. He's going for the.
Nice.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
He can call to where they're going. Like he's probably calling right now. They're going into the lobby. Oh, they're turned around. They know. Unlucky. Sometimes it do be like that, but. That means GCI is just gonna have an easier time sacking. Although the gun's in the power position, they might use this time just to spam the gun because that gun is so hard to make it. It's so hard to do anything if that.
Look at Rakusa and Sin though. They have this. This is like the spot for spamming down the gun.
Yeah. Oh.
The only thing is they're inside each other's models.
They might eat the same spam damage. That'd be not ideal. Sin's kind of low. GCI is really. Do they have 6 players? They have like everyone except for Catface in lobby. Even then,
they're really.
Yeah, they committed to that.
Oh, Mustard dying to Sticky's what?
Yeah, that's really disastrous. The Sin Karma gonna eat a headshot on a drop. There's so many hurt players on GCI. This is a very stressful situation, even with the demo pick. Yeah, look at their health. Oh my god, they just can't. The spam is insane from the Jug Dealers.
They just have to get the gun is the big thing. Like, it's easier to get the gun because there's no stickies to be spammed at you, but you still have to get it. I'm not going to be successful in that endeavor, especially with Rakusa dying there. I think he tried to go for the force and tried to guess that the medic was inside the dispenser, but was not going to be successful, as well as Hayes bombing in on Nemei, not able to get enough damage to get that force out. Got a little over 100, but not quite enough to get the force. So, still at 100% per. Rakusa actually up on sniper. It's not often we see Rakusa sniper, but it does come out
It is
occasionally.
pretty good. You know, Rakusa, you don't really see it in matches too much. Rakusa is, you know, pretty notable scout main. I wouldn't say he's like top invite, but he's definitely very, very good at scouts, so I'm sure his sniper is probably just as good. Maybe not with experience, we'll have to see. It's definitely a lot rarer to see than the Rakusa spike. Mustard gonna drop kind of low. Actually, dude, with Zam gonna take the SVS and win it, so, you know, Zam 1, Rakusa 0, as we're gonna settle into probably another round of sacks here. Some soldiers gonna go for their unfortunate demise. Actually, it's Zam kind of trying to make a play in lower lobby, but not gonna be able to get in. Jugdos realize Rakusa's already back up, so we're gonna have to just back up and chill almost.
Yeah, if you poke around and not really finding a door to counter sack off, eventually, you know, your opportunity's just gone. So Jug Dealer's unable to really find an opportunity for Zam to peek out, just gonna have to settle with, you know, sitting on last and letting GCI have another go at a sack. I'm kind of curious. It looks like they're going through 1 this time, or like 1 and 2. They're kind of positioned around there. It doesn't look like they want to go into lobby, which, I mean, it can make sense if you want to, like, ignore the wall. Oh no, okay, they're just buffing. They're going in lobby after
Sam
all.
going for a shot, but here comes the pressure again. But the spam from the GCI soldiers, or not the GCI soldiers, actually Zam hitting the headshots. The spam and the headshots are just ringing out. They can't get this gun. This gun's in such a powerful position. It's honestly, I'm amazed that's not kind of a no-build spot,
Oh,
to
the
be
shot
honest.
on Rakusa.
Yeah, Rakusa, I didn't see it. Oh, Zam!
Sam's popping off. He's got 2 so far, and I'm sure
Oh, no,
he
you're
keeps train
robot.
rolling.
Well, yeah, looks like he's gonna get Sin Karma. I think that's gonna signal the push out here. GCI down 3, and all 3 are in front, so they know there's no backcaps to worry about right now. Mustard's gonna try to lead the charge, but in the end, is he gonna be able to get out? They can't. Oh, they can't get out of last. They're gonna back up here. Hopefully, not get picked up. Zam's gonna actually get picked off in the end, but in the end, it's kind of just a double out of last. Hopefully, they're not gonna be punished super hard for this. We'll have to see.
There's no gun this time either, so ample opportunity for GCI to work their way through. Kuso bombing in onto Mustard, but not gonna quite get enough damage to collect that kill.
Ooh, big bomb in from Hayes. Gonna get Sin, and actually someone else died, so now we're in the same position as before. It's a 3v2 for a GCI 3. They're actually gonna get out of last this time, so Mustard's in. Oh,
Hold the shot.
Is he gonna fall? No, he isn't gonna fall. Mustard's staying alive somehow, so GCI's got to back up. It's just May. He has to use. Oh, this is disastrous.
Who's gonna come into the last second, but he's just a soldier. He has no cleanup ability. Actually, he's gonna bomb in. Never mind. Just a fade. Just a fade.
Yeah, I think he saw those players and he knew that would just. There's no hope there. Sin actually is very close to choke. He might get caught out here. Okay, he wisely jumped out. They do Uber because that was actually a big play from Sin. He like kind of faked him out by being so close to choke, but instead of jumping in and preserving his life. No, big bomb in from Sin. Big bomb in from Hayes too. Oh my god, these bombs. There's so much damage everywhere.
Yeah, no GCI scouts either, so cleanup crew is dead, as well as Sin Karma, so only soldiers and May left alive. Go ahead and back up out to their own 2 as the Jug Dealer's able to take mid, and with this player out, it's looking like a pretty free second point. GCI are already, you know, they're ready to give it up. They know that this is not going to be an easy fight to win, as the Jug Dealers barrel through, get on that point, and begin to lock out the doors, solidifying the point as their own.
Yeah, Uber's actually even. I thought there was going to be an ad one way or another, but Uber's actually somehow kind of even out, so in the end, we kind of actually had a role reversal here, because now it's on Jug Dealers to push into last, so we might see a stalemate the other way. We'll have to see what the Jug Dealers opt to do.
Look at them behind.
What is
They're
this?
behind this
Oh,
play.
this is.
The Chad Uber exchange, so much damage onto both teams. Zam almost falling.
Oh,
Gonna
he
get flashed
lived.
the
He got
last
flashed.
second. Gungan and Sin are going to fall. What is this spam fight? Mustard getting arrowed. So many players dropping. Bomb from Rakuso on Mustard, popping up in the air, able to be cleaned up by the side of Catface. So many players, and it's ulti duo.
Paul Dog's winning.
It's literally ulti. The arrow.
No.
All the ulti duo practice is paying off, but you are fighting in red team's territory, so I think GCI knows that they cannot win this long term. Gonna play it safe and back up to actually, no, Sin's there. It was early death.
That was a psychopath push out of last. That was actually. They must be experimenting. That was some actual, just like crazy person.
Chad Uber.
Yeah, that was the most like Chad thing I've seen in a while.
Look, they're doing it again. They're doing it again.
Oh, they just.
They're just in lobby.
This is what I think it's gonna work out though. The Jug is gonna kind of. They're the ones in the Jug as they walk in a lobby and instantly lose too. Actually, they're gonna trade for Crusoe, but in the end, it's not really worth it. Hayes is gonna leave IT, and Jug does have to back up the mid.
They'll never expect us to do it 2 times in a row. GCI able to be successful in that try push. Still, even Ubers, you know, haven't used it in that second fight over in the lobby, but
Red team
they don't really have a whole lot of positional advantage here. They're still trying to fight. They know Zam is up on Sniper, able to get the first shot on a cat face before he's hardly even entered the mid, just got them the ramp. And I think GCI, they've kind of realized that the trigger needs to be pulled. Dropping Sin Karma, though. Too many people in the Uber. May can't flash all of them. This red Uber is so much better. Landing on May, able to collect that kill. Surf in from the Blue Scout. Caps trying to collect any kill he can. Dropped to 6 HP. The soldiers are bombing in, trying to get any kill. Haze and Phantom and Zam will fall one after the other. Just Catface and Caps left alive. Caps all the way behind. Will get cleaned up by the side of Paul Dog. Catface rolling out with Sin Karma, though, onto 2. Mustard a little bit aggressive. His team's not quite there with him yet, but they have some room. Gungan actually going in around into Sin. Gonna get a little bit of damage, but will get cleaned up from a pipe. So they're still trying to spam this.
They know Sin is low, but they can't. Now the heals are there. They're gonna have to back up. But that was that fight on mid was so crazy. Okay, it looks like they're gonna stand by. I was gonna say that fight on mid was so crazy, but in the end, GCI just managed to kind of have the good post Uber when I really didn't expect them to. Are they drying? Oh, they are.
Yeah, they're drying. The bomb in from Paul Dog. It was expected. Sin gonna immediately fall. A lot of space from the side of the blue team. Rakuso going to make space and die for it, though. Gungan on Sniper this time. Gungan gonna be able to shoot up the top of the crate people. Haze falling. Soldier initiation from the side of Sin, getting some space, and Caps is actually in Al Qaeda trying to pressure, but immediately getting shot by Gungan. So losing 3, but able to collect 2 on their way out. So blue team able to collect this point, but I don't know if it's quite enough for them to really be super sold on a dry. They're probably gonna have to wait for the Uber, but
there's a sniper. They have to have the absolute, biggest Chad play. Yeah.
Oh, going IT. I think they spotted the sniper. Oh, he rotated. Lower IT, hitting 1 shot. May able to take I think May took a body shot.
Yeah,
and he's just like, nah, yeah, screw it. I mean, it makes sense. It took too long. There were too many rotations. They know that Phantom has Uber by now, so good play from GCI, recognizing that the play from Joe Dealers net them enough time to equalize the Ubers.
Alright, let's
okay,
the Gungan hitting the shot on Sin, peeking process choke, so now they're gonna try to get him from choke. And Sin actually getting air shot. This is
so much damage.
The damage. They're actually gonna get Zam, but look at, oh my god. They dropped the sniper, but in the end, it might be worth it. This red Uber so much later. Caps is actually chasing Paul Dog on second, so if they can clean up this Caps kill, they have the numbers to work with, and Caps is gonna just get vaporized. So I think they're gonna try to push Choke through. They're down basically both. They don't have any hit scan, but they have projectile classes, and they have a dream. And
trying to get some positioning. Oh, Sin Karma a little bit caught out, able to surf his way to safety and need an arrow. So blue team's still fighting this. Yeah, they know that they have better respawners than the blue team. They still want to fight this. Red team, if they want to win this, they have to win this fat. Their team has to roll all the way from last.
Yeah, it's kind of a
mid team now, though. That's true. That's true. It's pretty even, at least for now. Mustard actually getting really aggressive. Almost dying, will eventually fall to
Sin gonna die too. Rakuso gonna die. Look at this bombing from Haze. Manages to get May. So now they do have the Uber, the heal ad, and it's just Sin versus 3 of them, and I don't think he's gonna be able to do much. Yeah. So that's overall that kind of very scuffed fight ended up working out in the Jug Dealer's favor.
I've just sold out their explosive classes to get enough damage on the field for their scouts to clean it up. That's a classic. You know, sometimes someone's got to be sacrificial to get the W.
Yeah, in a lot of these fights, I've noticed that they look like they're kind of going the Jug Dealer's way, and then Rakuso or someone manages to pull out a big play and get Phantom at the end. But that fight, they were in a very good position. The soldiers kind of died early, or at least Rakuso did. So they're able to kind of post up, and it looks like this is going to signal the Uber ad push. It looks like they want to milk this. They don't want to use the Sentry. Actually, that's a big brain play. Having the level 2 in spawn, catching out Paul Dog. Yeah. And they get the gun, but actually bought them a reasonable amount of time on last. I think that was their only goal, and that actually worked Paul Dog's sad in chat. Yeah, hate to see it.
Rakuso got a 5 HP kill on Haze and IT as well on his way out, so they got a pretty
here
good
comes the push. It's a dry push.
Jumping in. Yeah, they're blocking the point. Red team's going to last, but blue team has stopped it, but they didn't stop it for long enough. So
if they get on the point, they're not on the point.
The Jug Dealers, yep, just Caps left alive. It was a valiant effort. I think they recognized that they wanted to go for a block play, but it just wasn't successful. The Zam was still able to cap this off, and enough kills were collected on last to net Jug Dealers another round, and now we're in a tie game.
Yeah, GCI is doing, like the random number generator thing where that decides what you do. They have these crazy dry pushes, and sometimes it feels like they're just like, all right, let's go IT. We'll see how it goes.
Shake the magic 8 ball and do what it says.
it's entertaining at the bare minimum. It looks like Jug Dealers are going to try to take a left side bait. Last time it didn't work out for them, but they kind of have better space this time. They're not immediately face playing team. Sin Karma going to get a bow, but dropping immediately low again. Sin Karma eating so much damage, and Look at GCS positioning. They're just
Look
like
at the height advantage for the
yeah,
red
the height
team.
advantage.
It's
Hayes actually
insane.
might get quad on IT here, but the damage is still so high from just everyone. Actually, now Jungdu is the one who are kind of hurt, but God, this is such a chaotic fight. But Hayes is in. I don't know if he's gonna get Recruso.
Oh, the kill from Phantom on a Sin Karma as well. So many players dropping. There's a lot of weak players, and Phantom will be the first one to fall for the side of the Jug dealers. Just May left alive at 94%, but we have soldiers on the chase. Which soldier is? I can't even see my hold on. I can't. Yeah, my HUD has his text over his head removed, so I can't tell which one is which.
Pauldock's still in last. He's like, oh, look at him. He's hiding.
He's hiding. Spot.
I love this. This is actually a pretty good hiding spot, but someone might roll out into him. Oh, no one.
Recruso.
Oh,
wait, my God.
He didn't see.
Dude, he's gonna get the back cap. He's gonna back cap. I'm not even. I'm
Oh
just watching
God,
Paul Dog.
is.
I'm ignoring the fight. I'm ignoring the fight.
Just watching. Oh
I'm
my
watching
God.
Paul Dog. Oh my God.
Wait,
he gets headshot. No, Recruso still killed him. What? What is happening? All right.
Oh my God.
Well, that was pretty close. But at the end of the day, May with a full Uber ad and a player ad to move their way into mid to try to take this for themselves.
I don't know how Recruso got that kill, but that actually saved them the round so hard. And GCI is gonna, they're just gonna check themselves on mid. They actually have a decent Uber ad to work with. I think knowing GCI, they're gonna try to take this.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, they're bombing Sin. Sin's
Rakusa's
about
on
to bomb,
spy.
I think.
Rakusa's on spy for the post Uber. He's
I
like
like
pulling
it.
up the long way, which is alright. But yeah, they're actually Phantom has Uber by now. So this is just a straight up dry fight with a player down, and now Catface is dead too. So they're leaving. I guess it's on Rakuso now because the red team has a reason to try to. Yeah, they're trying to poke around, and they know it's even, so it might not be a full-on push, but Rakuso's in a pretty good spot. Did he cloak onto Phantom, and he gets the stab. A little bit of damage onto Mustard, and it's actually Sin that's going to collect the gun kill, so no medic for the side of the red team. Actually, Sin's going to fall this damage from sewer. Yeah, I guess the spam in sewer is just too much. He's
actually got bowed like multiple times. Not going to get too much damage on May, so May in the end gonna preserve their Uber, which is kind of what you really like to see. Actually, the spam from Hayes gonna spam May, so I guess the spam from Hayes is insane. So Hayes actually might have one of the best spam gameplay of any player I've seen in a while. That
pretty
is one thing
important. I'm at process too.
Yeah, I've noticed that Hayes and Pauldock are both really good at just hitting spam, which you think wouldn't be that big of a skill, but it actually is. It's kind of an important skill.
Definitely, if you can't, if like. In a map where it's going to be really hard to find a location to land without it leading to your death, spam is really important. It's the one way for you to contribute without being a complete respawn timer. And if you're unable to have successful spam, it's really difficult. But speaking of really difficult, this Uber immediately off the bat took a sec for Sin Karma to get that gun down, but will eventually find success. Sticky's on the point. Immediately dead. Soldier initiation onto the scouts, able to collect Catface, but Caps is still there. Well, actually, he's kind of separated from his team. Gungan will fall. Soldier initiation from the blue team. Yep, trying to bomb his. Actually using used spam to knock his way out into lobby to safety. What the heck? But Caps running the soldiers.
So Pauldock gonna trade for Sin basically. Big bombing from Recruso. Actually gonna get Phantom on the post, and now it's just the two scouts, but May manages to live in the end, so gonna preserve this Uber at it. Shooting some bows at nothing, hoping he's not getting chased, but it failed last push, but GCI, they do have another Uber ad to work with, so we're probably just gonna see a repeat of what happened last time. Zam on the sniper though. Jump dealers wanna fight this. Or they just want to
make space. Yeah, make space.
They might get second point. The point's so close.
Oh, Sin's really deep as well. So Recruso dying to fall. Did he get air shot? How is he that low?
He got air shot.
What the heck? I'm watching the stream. I'm looking at my side monitor. I'm ignoring what's happening right now.
I think it was just like a miracle play. Mustard's still peeking.
Oh yeah, he got it. He got a fadeaway air shot.
Oh wait, Pauldock got Sin. Pauldock could have gone on May, but he's actually gonna get the point. That might be a much smarter play. He's gonna get the air shot.
He was on Pain Train too. He got the air shot with Pain Train, able to get that cap as well. But scout fight happening at one. Both were going to fall.
There's so many air shots happening. But G-Sec, now the Mustard might fall for this, but Hayes is in for the. Oh, actually, they're gonna back up. Okay, maybe they're trying to buy time. I don't know what was happening, but. They don't have a sentry, they don't have any off classes for last. This might be rough because May still has this Uber to work with. May never popped throughout all these shenanigans happening.
Yeah, it's still a decent advantage to work with. It's dwindling though, 20%. It might be a little bit hard if this lasts too long. It's actually, Sin's gonna fall on his way in, so it's gonna even things out, but we've seen a lot of spy so far from the side of GCI. Catface is no stranger to the spy class. immediately coming up on Spy, and they're actually not checking this time. It's just an NG and a sniper for the side of the Jug dealer. So we'll see how successful Catface is.
They
with
know
this
Mustard's
espionage
in
endeavors.
lobby too, so that might even go for something aggressive. Zam's gonna die. Yeah, the Catface. The nice thing about this is he can spot where everyone is. So GCI when they dry push, they're not gonna really be in for a big surprise. But the spam from Hayes gonna get in and do a pretty decent amount of damage to people. But yeah, here comes the spam for the gun. They actually managed to get all the spam there.
The spam? Did he just die to spam?
I think he did.
He
I'm
died
telling
to
you, the
Paul Dog
spam is insane.
Oh no,
but...
Paul Dog flanked.
Oh, he
Paul Dog
flanked,
flanked.
okay.
He flanked.
But Sin is in. He's gonna get Mustard, but the kills just aren't there. Just Catface on Spy. Are they gonna push out and get back Catface?
I mean, Catface hasn't revealed himself, so...
Oh,
the timing has to be right, though.
Yeah,
because you have a soldier lingering on last,
Oh,
hiding
look
in a
at Paul
corner.
Dog. Look at Paul Dog. He knows. Oh, Paul Dog's just sat in a corner on last. He knew something was up.
Paul Dog is the type of player that will 100% for sure, like, stay on last. Like, he'll volunteer. I think he's been burned too many times from pushing out and getting
especially
back
when you're an old player like Paul Dog, it's just happened too many times that you know someone has to do it, and you know that if you don't, no one else is gonna do it. It's just someone has to do it, and honestly, they're the real heroes of TF2, or players who stay behind and look at back caps.
Yep. Initiation on Rakuso.
Yeah. I think that was a wall shot from Paul Dog. I didn't see what happened. Rakuso's just out.
Cloak.
He can't do
He's
anything.
on the move.
He's in. He's
Revolver
trying to
on a
revolver.
Phantom 3-shot revolver Phantom.
Just James Bond out there getting the revolver shots. Catface actually gonna, I don't know, a sticky trap or something, but GCI's gonna try to push in. They do have an Uber to work with here, but Hayes actually manages to damage. May is so hurt.
19 HP and still not popping. Holding on to it in zero, but Sin Karma gonna fall at the choke. Zam gonna get cleaned up by Sin, so they still have this Uber to work, but no demo on the field. The red team rolling out the rest of their teammates back to the mid-fight. Sin kind of poking his way through, the rest of the blue team following suit. They have this Uber to work with still, getting some height advantage. I think the red team joke dealers have realized that probably a little bit too difficult for them to really go for a force here. So gonna go ahead and set up on 2 with their Zam respawn on Sniper to try to prevent the blue team from taking this point.
I wonder if May's got a pop here. I feel like May's been doing the skis challenge for the past like 10 minutes where he's just not popping Uber. Well, yeah, it's still going. They really want that. Oh, here comes he's gonna have to pop. Oh no, he's so low and he still doesn't pop. 30 HP, big milk from May, and that they're just gonna take this. But Phantom probably could have his Uber in time unless they go really fast. It looks like they recognize this. They are trying to go really fast, and they're just in. They use
no stickies on point.
They don't have any stickies on point, but they don't have a second though. And Phantom has. Oh, Phantom dies. 98%.
He dies in the spawn. What? All right. Well, that's unfortunate for their team. By slim margin, the medic is collected. He was in nest, so it's going to be another round for the side of GCI.
Yeah. So what's that? 4-3. God, this has been a roller coaster. Yeah, this match has been a roller coaster ride of emotions, and we are going to our second mid, or actually probably match point. We do have. Actually, both demos kind of doing the same. Mustard's gonna be really low, really. Sin Karma hit a really fast sticky on him, but I'll let you take this one.
Yep, spam going across both sides, looking like maybe another sewer mid for the red team. They're not really pulling the trigger quite yet. It's gonna be Rakusa bombing in a lot of damage onto the red team combo, but height advantage still for the side of the blue team, despite having a player ad. But trying to take it back.
Sin's low on the point too. Sin, is he gonna live? Mustard's in. Look at Mustard.
He's just in the enemy team, popped up into the air, trying to land on a May able to take the pack.
He's still alive.
Sin's trying to get the melee onto him, but it's going to be just Paul Dog and Gungan left alive. May will eventually fall from a bomb from Paul Dog, so Gungan trying to get anyone with last breath.
Gungan frag. Oh, no, Caps.
Not quite.
Caps had 35 HP and hit like the 100 meat shot onto who was that? Gungan? Yeah, that was Gungan. So big player from Caps, because I would thought Caps was dead for sure. He had such low HP, but they kind of just bumbled into each other. Say Carver does have sewer traps. I feel like someone dies to this trap. It's one of those traps you don't expect to die to. You know what I mean?
It's plausible, especially because it's
he's on
even.
mid too. Like he's on mid. Someone's gonna peek that eventually. Sin Karma's just I can tell. Like he's looking at this trap. He wants it.
I mean, it's pretty much even for the most part. So actually, no, they want to dry. Do
they want to dry? Oh man,
they're like poised at choke buffing up.
They
like
look
if they
like
see an
want to do
opportunity,
something.
they'll go.
Yeah, they do look like they want to do something. They are up around.
Rakusa's second jump got eaten by the rock.
Happens.
This ad is artificial. It's like 30 ad, but I don't think it's supposed to exist.
Are they on crits? Oh no, they're on crits.
Oh, that's why. Never mind. It's not artificial.
Here it comes. It's a Mustard crits. They get a little bit. Mustard just in through choke. Oh, they get Sin. The other Sin's so low too. They get 3 off of that. I'd say that's worth it. Only losing Hayes for 3. You take that even with the Uber disad. So that was just GCI, I don't, they want to fight this, and they have Uber, but they're down so many numbers, I don't know if they can.
I mean, they have the Caps respawner. It's going to be difficult for them to really post-fight this is the deal and get in really cleanly. I think the one thing that GCI does have going for them is they know that from now on, the Jug Dealers are pretty much stuck on crits. I mean, that's something they have to keep in mind is like, the way that you continue to play the game, surprise factor is huge, and it doesn't exist as much later on as long as your medic lives.
Oh, May is so hurt. May
17 HP.
Yeah, I don't know what, I think he got bowed or something, that has to be it, but something...
He's waiting for the pack.
Yeah.
Sin is just in so deep. His medic's not with him, though.
Did he expect to get Ubered? I think he expected to get Ubered or something. I don't know. Here comes the mustard
coming out.
He hasn't hit anything quite yet, but he's charged out the sticky for forever. They do manage to get the force, and they're in a position to back up, and Paul Dog's behind. This might not work out well for GCI at all. Able to get it. They do manage to get Paul Dog, but Mustard's bombing in.
So much damage from both teams, but it's going to be a lot of the red players that are falling this time around. Sin dropped to a really low, will eventually die to Hay. So 3v3 scenario, red team still. Yeah, they're still controlling the point, the red team. They have better respawners.
Caught out. He's actually okay. May's going to meet up with him, but they're in a little bit of a precarious position right now. But they're going to give it a gun. And Caps is so hurt too. He has to move. He can't get the bow because Paul Dog was going to shoot him. Paul Dog ain't going to fall for it. Big play from Sin Karma there, and they're going to have to back up and preserve. I guess preserve. They're still on crits. There's a minute 40 left. They need this round.
Yeah, surprise factor is lessened and lessened as time goes on.
I think he crits a soldier or something by this point because the angles. Like look where GCI is playing. There's no good angles here. Oh, they tried through sewer. Interesting.
I guess trying to go for anything they can when it comes to bring the surprise factor back, but it's immediately busted from GCI. Sin going for the spoon on a Phantom, almost not able to quite hit a rocket to get enough damage.
Didn't take any damage, but the bombs in. Yeah, I think when Joke Dealers get their spawns, I don't even know if it's mathematically possible now. He got the force, but there's a minute left, so realistically, yeah, I think this is it unless something really weird happens.
I mean, especially given they're all the way on to the last.
Yeah, they're on their last. They have a minute left to do something. Yeah, they're calling out the GGs, so that's a 5-3 from GCI, and it looks like they've secured their playoff berth. So GCI is confirmed for the 4th seed.
Yep, I think with this victory and by these margins as well, there's not a way that the Jug Dealers are able to work their way into playoffs. So I think they're just fighting between 5th and 6th now, as GCI are sitting comfy at their 4th seed. Got playoffs in lock, getting ready for the end of the season, going into the playoffs race, where they will go against, I think Froyotech is also slated for 1st seed. I think everything's locked at this point. So Froyotech being the 1st seed will be the first match they play off in the playoffs race.
Yeah, it's I think they realized that they had the round advantage or something, because they at some point they were doing really well, then it kind of got just very silly. Although GCI does tend to do that sometimes, so who knows? But it was the past 2 matches from GCI have both been really kind of chaotic. It's been entertaining to watch no matter what. I'm excited to see them in playoffs.
And I'm excited to see them tomorrow as well, because even though their match tomorrow isn't, it's not going to be as important for them because their regular season from this point on, I think it might be the last match. The regular season from this point on doesn't quote unquote matter as much if they're just trying to get their playoff seeding right, but it still matters for their opponents, GlobalClan Fire, so that should be interesting. But go ahead and look at some logs here to kind of see what's up. Gun and Caps both leading the charge for their respective teams in the kill department. But they got some teammates not too far behind. Damage being put out by the Demoman as per usual. Got pretty large performance from Hayes and damage as well, which is, we talked about it before, how Hayes was a pretty heavy hitter for the side of the Jug Dealers, but it's actually going to be GlobalClan Ice's, I'd say probably Caps is the one who has the prettiest stats, honestly.
Yeah, May actually too, I think for the overall
actually,
for the whole match,
never mind,
that's the biggest diff I see, is that May, there's a lot of times where May just left early and preserved his life and Uber charge, which helped so many times that he was just constantly alive and able to have Uber. And Uber's a very nice thing to have in TF2. And I think May did a good job. I don't think all of Phantom deaths are necessarily his fault. I think sometimes there's just that chaos, people pinch behind. Sometimes there's really not much you can do on Medic if the situation just arises from it. But pretty good game for May overall. Good games. Mustard and Sin did the most damage in the server, so I guess he had a good game too. And
once again, I feel like Rakuso so far the past 2 days have been like the unsung hero, where his stats look, they either look average or garbage, but every single half he goes insane and does crazy plays. So
Rakusa, he's always in a position at the end of fights to just make a play and keep, because he knows that Mei is almost always going to live through most of the fights, and Rakusa does such a good job of keeping the other medic down, so then they just have permanent Uber Ed, which is again such a huge thing to have, especially in 5 CP.
And process where it's a little bit harder to pull off. Like I said before, it's not really too many amazing places to land as a soldier. So if you're going in, you better find some success because there's not going to really be a spot for you to kind of finagle your way to get some spam while keeping your health intact a whole lot of the time. But yeah, hats off to the side of GlobalClan Ice taking this victory away. I think we have some people incoming for interviews, so we're just kind of sitting tight, waiting for them to show up. Got to take a sec to catch a breath after that match. You solidified your playoff spot. You're happy. You're celebrating, but
Yeah, but yesterday we had I believe we had Caps and Sin Karma in yesterday. So today we have Mei and was it Mei and Sin, the other Sin. So if tomorrow we have Catface and Rakusa, then we'll have interviewed the entire team.
True.
Right, we gotta somehow manage that. But we do have a Mei and Sin, the soldier Sin, not Sin Karma, coming in.
Yep, just gotta wait for him. Quick, stall more.
I see one of them. Looking at the stats, I see someone mentioned that Paul Dog had 15 air shots. There was a lot of air shots that game.
True, it's important. Like, these stats don't necessarily show all of the stats that could show up on like a logs page, and I think air shots is one of the ones that are pretty neat to look at, but isn't necessarily shown. So
the ones I remember the mustard air shots because they didn't expect them. Like people were just like take 100 HP midair. I'm like, what happened?
We do have Sin and Mei here after their victory. Hello, guys. How you feeling after your match? I think you've pretty much technically clinched your playoff spot by now.
Hello. That was thrilling. That was such a sick match.
It actually was pretty fun to play. We're feeling pretty good about securing our playoffs position because basically this win makes it so that even if we lose against GCF, which we don't expect to, then we're like for sure in playoffs. So that was just like the nail in the coffin on us being in playoffs. So it's pretty hype. It was a pretty high intensity match, and yeah, we pulled through. So I'm very happy about it.
Can you talk a little bit about what your game plan was coming into process? Because I'm pretty sure this was your pick, right? So you had an idea of what you wanted to achieve and what strengths you're going into the match with?
We're pretty familiar with that map as a team, so pretty much our preparation for the match was just doing a map review, getting the minor things that we felt were going wrong down, and relying on the fact that we're already comfortable on that map, have played matches on that map quite a bit this season, stuff like that. And it paid off for us. Obviously Process is one of the more basic maps, so if you just play good fundamental TF2, generally speaking, you'll have a good time on it.
Yeah, for sure. We've definitely been putting in a lot of work in terms of like coordination between like certain players and certain aspects of our team, and I feel like to a certain extent it's paid off a lot. I've kind of gone back to pseudo main calling, whereas like towards the middle part of the season I stopped main calling as much, and then we started getting like pretty bad results. But now that it's back to like me kind of orchestrating a lot of the fights that we get into, I feel like it's been going pretty well. So a lot of our preparation for this match was just trying to get like minor coordination things resolved, and then pretty much everything else fell in line immediately after that.
It's always important to have an IGL.
Yeah, if you guys had to give MVPs to someone other than yourself, who would you give it to on your team? Who do you think had a really standout kind of game?
I would give the MVP to Catface because his energy was just like infectious that match. It kind of was like the playoff vibe. So he kept us super focused in the game because he was playing and calming with so much intensity. That stuff can help your team a ton.
Yeah, he's been helping us out a lot in terms of, so like I said, I kind of went back to the like pseudo IGL position, and one of the main things that I was struggling with at the beginning part of the season is not having a lot of information calls, and Catface has been super good about giving information calls to like the chain of command, and we've been seeing a lot of results because of that. So I would also say Catface at this point.
So
he's
that's
been a
why
great
he plays that
caller.
much spy. I see.
Catface Spy is powerful. I think he actually got a drop too.
Yeah, he got a med drop after I dropped, so it was like a super crucial salvage moment.
I also want to give a shout out to Rakuso for having like an insanely clutch moment on our last where the point was like 97% capped. He was like cratering onto the ground or something and still got the rocket off and
Oh,
just
yeah.
barely saved the
Oh,
round.
yeah,
That
he-
was
Yeah, that's
he-
the yeah.
He got
definitely the
airshot, so he
clutchest
couldn't.
moment of the match.
He got airshot, so he couldn't block it with his body, so his rockets had to be perfect, and he got enough damage
Yeah.
to collect the kill.
I was spectating him. That was not an easy rocket to aim. So shout out to Rakuso. That was sick too.
Rakusa does
Right.
have a lot of clutch moments that doesn't show up on the scoreboard, but manages to get him.
Exactly. He's our perfect salvage player. He had he had Phantom in a little box that game, 9 deaths.
He
and
did, yeah.
So if I were to give the MVPs to anybody, it would be Caps and Rakuso probably, or not Caps, Catface and Rakuso.
So the match had some close moments despite your overall victory. Can you talk a little bit about some of the issues that you kind of faced, you had to kind of adapt and deal with as a match that went on that led you guys to the success that you have?
I think the biggest thing is it started to slow down at a certain point, and they like spammed sniper plays a lot. So really, the biggest thing was just getting good at countering the sniper, and I feel like we ended up doing a pretty good job of that eventually. The sniper only got like a few picks and wasn't like a super huge issue, so that's pretty good. That's really the only thing I could think of coordination wise that like was kind of off that match. Other
And
than
you-
that, like our overall coordination and like everything, our mumble environment was really good. So
Yeah, by far it's not even, I wouldn't even call it your guys' fault. It's just like, it's really hard to do is getting that gun down on last when it's like on top of the point is like impossible. I don't know how anyone
yeah,
does
that
it.
too.
Yeah,
That's
it's like,
That was a bit of a struggle for
It is a
the
struggle.
majority of the match.
it's such a powerful spot. You can't sack, you can't spam it. It's just like you guys were trying to spam it and they just got so much damage. It was like impossible. It was definitely, it's a struggle.
Yeah, they had a really good hold on last. They kept rotating their demo when we tried to get it from 5, and if you tried to peek it from 2, the gun itself would shoot you. So it was kind of difficult, and also they kept repairing it. So me and Rakuso hit it for like 7 rockets one time and it didn't even die.
Yeah, just an absolute tragedy. I think I'm out of questions. How are you, Jared?
I guess the last one is obviously you're not gonna reveal any strats, but your first match for your playoff seedings is since it's locked is gonna be Froyo. I know that you still have I think 1 or 2 maybe more regular season matches to go. Do you have any initial thoughts about your eventual playoff matchup?
We're pretty hyped about going into playoffs. Regardless of playing against Froyo, I think we are in very much a good mindset to be able to take it to Froyo at this point. We are doing very well preparation-wise recently, so going into playoffs, we should be in a pretty good spot to have a really, really good showing. So I'm looking forward to it a lot. Sin?
I pretty much agree with you there. We've had I call it the playoff push. Like now that playoffs is approaching on us and we're realizing that we have to start really working on the problems that our team has, it's created this huge spark of motivation for our players, and we're trying to utilize that as much as we can, get some practice time in, review stuff more often, all that.
Yeah, playoffs is definitely the moment where if you're holding back at all, you definitely stop that and go full force. So excited to see what you guys are going to be able to do in this playoff run. But I think that's going to be it for tonight. Got any last minute shouts before we close out the stream, starting with Sin?
Honestly, just shout out our team for the high intensity gameplay, their team for playing well, having some interesting strats. Shout out Cart if he's in chat. Gotta love Cart, only he knows.
May?
Yeah, shout out to Jug Dealers. They put up a really good showing this season. They're probably inevitably going to fall into 5th, but they did a really good job playing this season. I think it's that team's first showing an invite. Like that kind of core has been around for a little bit, and this is the first time that they've like played invite. And they really did a good job this season. So shout out to them. Shout out to this production team. This is probably my favorite like production team that I've seen in a while. So shout out to you guys. You guys always do a good job. Always love your casts.
Thank you.
So yeah, shout out to my team as well. I love this team.
That's actually true. Shout out to Space Ghost Coffee for making me mod in his stream along with everyone else.
I have like 20,000 mods. It's actually over 1,000. Yeah. Shout out to production. Shout out to skis as always. That's all my shout outs.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Dolphin for production and all the viewers for watching. It's gonna be it for tonight. If you want to catch more invite action, there's another cast tomorrow. It's gonna be GlobalClan Ice versus GlobalClan Fire, which you don't want to miss, as well as probably gonna be some Highlander action on Monday as per usual. But like I said, for tonight, that's gonna be it for us. I've been Jarrett, casting with Space Ghost with Dolphin on production. Thank you and good night.
Good night.